And we're wrong podcast, man. Shout out to the Another Enemy podcast. Make sure you go listen, subscribe. You can find us anywhere you find podcasts. Shout out to GX. But we're back. It's Khalid Salon from the Peace Seekers. Back with another episode of the Peace Seekers podcast. And it has been a long ass time since I've done an episode on here. I have been slacking as usual, always slacking. Y'all know I work a real job in real life. Podcasting does not pay the bills yet. So y'all been away for a while. You know, that's just how things go when you are actually out here doing things in life, right? So we're back, man. This has been an episode that I actually did an episode on this a long time ago. I never put it out because I felt that I could articulate the point a lot better. But I'm going to be talking about the scarcity mindset today, right? And the last time when I did a podcast on this topic, the scarcity mindset, it was right around the time that young Dolph had passed away, because that was one of the references that I spoke about during the scarcity mindset episode. So I may touch on that again and just try to relate it so people can kind of understand and know what I mean when I say scarcity. But in a nutshell, man, let's get right into it. The scarcity mindset and how it's fucking with you in life, right? I'm just gonna give it to you all straight. Ignore the sirens. I'm in Atlanta right now, so y'all probably hear this quite a bit. I'm downtown, so I'm right next to, I think, Grady Hospital. So, bear with me, man. It is a little ghetto out here. Straight up, though. It's a little ghetto out here. But long story short, man, scarcity mindset. Let's get right into it. How the scarcity mindset is fucking with you in life. People make decisions based off of fear, lack. Just think about that, right? Because in the next episode I drop, I'm going to be talking about trauma responses and how that holds people back as well. But in terms of the scarcity mindset, when you think about lack, let's just give some examples. In the black community specifically, because I do a lot of these and I talk about the black community a lot, but for a lot of us, we lack resources. We lack opportunities. It's hard to get jobs for black people, and is it really? But let's just working off of what a lot of people say and think. When you lack resources and you can't put food on the table, are the decisions that you make in order to put food on the table the best decisions? Because a lot of times when we lack resources, it leads people to the streets. It leads people to becoming drug dealers and robbers and killers, or for women, it may lead them to selling their bodies, whether that's online, in person, whatever the case may be. We start to put ourselves in situations that we wouldn't necessarily put ourselves in if the circumstances were different. But those are decisions made out of lack. Whenever you make a decision based on a lack of something, whether that's lack of resources, lack of love, lack of discipline, lack of integrity, lack of anything, those tend to be the wrong decisions to make. Fear is another driver of the decisions that people make. We make a lot of decisions based out of fear. If you're familiar with the IG lives that we did some months back now, it's been actually probably last year, towards the end of the years when we first started doing the IG live. Shout out to GX. Go follow him on Instagram, G_ATM. Shout out to the Another Enemy podcast as well. Streaming on all podcast platforms. Go and grab it. The first IG live that we did, we talked about that the topic specifically was, is a 4-year relationship equivalent to a 4-year marriage? And so as we went down the grapevine and began to speak about why some people prefer not to be married, the vast majority of the reason was because they don't want to get divorced and lose half. That's a decision made out of fear. You haven't even got to the end where you divorce the person yet. What about all the steps that you could take to make the marriage actually last, to make the marriage successful? We don't even really consider those things because we make decisions out of fear so quickly. That's a problem. Because, and this is just a small example, the marriage example, but I'm saying it's a problem because when we make these decisions out of fear, we oftentimes unknowingly turn our back on all of the positive aspects of making the right decisions, or making the decision based out of abundance and security and intelligence, integrity, all of these things. We make the decisions out of fear, and we end up making wrong-headed decisions. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Any decision based out of fear or lack tends to be the wrong decision. So what do we do about this? Decisions made out of confidence are the things that we should strive for. But how do we build confidence? Confidence comes by way of being competent of the situation in the scenario. Sorry if you all hear some kids in the background. I am in a hotel, and you all know how it goes when you're in a hotel. But competence. How do we become more competent? You have to go out of your way to learn, study, research the things that you are actually making decisions on, right? For example, let's go back to the marriage example. Well, if I fear divorce, I need to learn how to be the man, or if you're a woman, be the woman that attracts, number one, attracts the right type of people. 2, the type of person that knows and understands what marriage is truly about and the benefits of marriage. And you also need to be the type of person who is able to resolve issues when they occur, because no marriage is perfect. You'll always have disagreements. You'll have your issues. You'll have things that the two of you just may never agree on, right? And then there's a level of compromise that comes with that. But there are various different ways to learn how to be a better man or woman, and how to be a better husband or a better wife. Look to the greats. For a lot of us, the fear that we have a lot of times is instilled in us at a young age because we lack competency in these areas. And when we lack competency, we lack confidence, because we know deep down inside we don't really know how to do it. So we're not confident at it. Like myself personally, I can't swim, right? I don't really like going to the pool because I can't swim. So it's not something that I really enjoy. There is a sense of anxiety or nervousness that I have when I go to the pool sometimes, especially if I'm around certain people, because I know that they're likely to try to play around and push you in the pool. Shout out to GX. You know what I'm saying? And deep down inside, as much as I don't want to say it, there is a level of fear there, because I'm not competent at swimming, water, pools. I'm not competent at it. So therefore, I lack confidence. So when I go to the pool, you might see me sitting off at the side, or I might just avoid going to the pool altogether. I've been at the W Hotel in Atlanta. There's a pool on the roof, which is really, really dope. And I have not been to the pool one time. I don't even have any swimming trunks. I didn't even pack any swimming trunks, because I know it's probably likely that I'm not really going to go to the pool because of that slight fear, right? So How do you adjust that? I could take swimming lessons, overcome those fears by way of becoming more competent, therefore producing a higher level of confidence. And there, within that, I will no longer have a scarcity mindset in terms of going to the pool, right? Very simple concept to understand, but it takes a level of work that you have to put in order to become more confident, to become more competent. There's a level of work that you have to put in. And for a lot of people are just fucking lazy, to be honest. A lot of people are lazy. A lot of people are stuck. They're stuck in trauma. They're stuck in fear. They're stuck in lack. And you're not doing anything to get out of it. And if you're not going to do anything to get out of it, prepare to be a loser for the rest of your life. I'm going to give it to you straight up. You're going to be a loser for the rest of your life as long as you allow the scarcity mindset to control your decision-making skills. Because you get locked into either not making a decision, not making the right decision, or making the wrong decisions. Pushes you so far back, you got to work extra fucking hard to get ahead. Excuse my language. You got to work extra hard to get ahead. And people don't really understand what they don't understand. Fear controls the decisions that you make, and therefore it controls the outcomes that you produce. The faster people can start to understand these things, the faster you can actually try to make a plan to overcome your fears, to overcome that lack. Let's talk about lack again. Let's go back to the example that I gave. When you grow up in the streets, in the hood, 9 times out of 10, you weren't taught any kind of financial literacy. You weren't taught any kind of financial skills. So how do you overcome making those decisions out of lack, such as becoming a drug dealer to put food on the table? Why don't you take a step back, go and get a book, get online, it's free. Go down to your local library, get on the internet where it's free 9 times out of 10, and start to search different ways to make money. That's the beginning. Have a solid foundation on how to actually just make a livable wage. We can start to build the blocks on how to become the millionaires, the billionaires. We can build the blocks on how to buy property and all of these things. But the first step you need to do is set a solid foundation. Go and get a 9 to 5. Go and get a job that you could work anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week. I say 60 hours a week minimum should be what a man should be working. But you have to go and do the research, because it's not just going to come to you. Most likely, if you didn't get it as a kid, you're going to have to go out and find it as an adult. That's just what it is. That's the way it goes. Trust me. I've been there. I'm doing it. I'm learning day by day as things progress. There are so many things that I didn't learn as a kid, but I can't make any damn excuses. I have to go and learn it now. And I have to put my foot down and put myself out there, and it's going to feel uncomfortable at times. A lot of times it feels uncomfortable. A lot of times it's stressful. It's annoying. It's irritating. It's embarrassing that as a 25-year-old man, there are certain things that I don't know. But what am I going to do? I'm not going to make the decision out of lack. I'm going to go and make the decision out of abundance. I'm going to go and make the decision out of the desire to level up and become the best version of myself. I'm going to go out and seek the information, no matter where I have to get it from. Or I could just go to the streets and become a drug dealer. I could trap. Or I can continue to try to be a rapper like a lot of these dudes do. But I'd rather do something that follows in the footsteps of the ones who are truly successful, not the ones who have the guise or the facade of success. I'd rather truly be able to put my people in position rather than be in a position where I'm always on defense mode because the things that I'm doing in life, I shouldn't really be doing. These are decisions made out of fear. These are decisions made out of lack. it permeates our life in general. It's not just when it comes to finances. It's not just when it comes to marriage and relationships. It's when it comes to raising our children. It's when it comes to finding the proper job for us. It's when it comes to getting dressed in the morning, being depressed. It rules all aspects of your life because as human beings, we make hundreds of decisions every single day. Some of them we make consciously, some of them we make subconsciously, but nevertheless, we're making decisions all day long, all day, every day. But we need to make the right decisions. And a part of making the right decisions is being mentally healthy enough to where the decisions that you make don't set you back. They don't bring you down into the depths of depression and anxiety and all of these other mental health issues that we deal with on a day-to-day basis and we see within our society today. Suicidal thoughts, suicide in it of itself, the decision to take your own life is a decision made out of fear and lack. And it happens every single day, day after day, person after person. This is how it goes. But I guarantee you, if you were to ask a person who either considered taking their own life, or if you had the opportunity to ask a person who has taken their own life, why? I guarantee you the answer is going to be from the perspective of lack or fear. It's going to be somewhere surrounded around the scarcity mindset. I guarantee you. How do I know this? Because I've been there. I've thought about it, considered it, wrote it down, planned it out. And anytime I think about the times that I wanted to leave this realm, it was always out of fear or lack. Every single time. It was never a decision being made from abundance. It was always a decision based on lack of emotional integrity, emotional fortitude, discipline, fear of being judged, fear of life itself, fear of the things that I experienced, fear of opening up those doors to trauma, the things that I've experienced as a kid and as an adult. Fear of losing things, fear of being in lack. This is how it goes. Fear of losing love from people, fear of losing resources, fear of the unknown, fear of just not knowing what the hell's going on with me. I've been there, been in those shoes. And I know many of you can relate to this. Many of you probably know people who can relate to this. And if you do relate to this, or you know someone who relates to this, let them know that the decisions that you make out of fear and lack often are the decisions that we regret the most. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than the individual. It's the collective. We pass down this mode of trauma. We pass down this trauma mindset, scarcity mindset. We pass it down because we lack competency. We lack confidence, structure, discipline, intelligence. A lot of us are truly ignorant on how to maneuver through this spectrum of emotion. We were never taught. We were never taught. But just because you weren't taught something when you were young, in the formative years, which are some of the most important years of your life, it doesn't mean that as an adult you can't learn. But you have to have the willingness, the drive, the desire to become the best version of yourself. And until you have that, you'll continue to be at the bottom. You'll continue to make the wrong decisions. You'll continue to be fearful of the world, fearful of circumstances, and you'll continue to have a scarcity mindset. It's been a short episode, short and sweet, right? Talked about the scarcity mindset, broke down what it was, broke down how it affects us in our day-to-day actions, and we broke down how to overcome it. You overcome it by becoming more competent. That's it. That's all you have to do. Any area in your life that you're lacking, any area that you're fearful of, break it down. Break it all the way down to the break it all the way down as far as you can. Understand, why do I fear this? Why am I lacking in this area? Does it stem from my childhood? Does it stem from something I experienced as a teen, an adult? Where is this coming from? Look deep inside yourself so that you can begin to understand yourself. And then you can begin to map it out and plan and have a course of action as to how you're going to overcome this lack and overcome this fear. And once you plan it out, once you uncover it and plan it out, do it every single day, and you'll become more competent. Educate yourself, you'll become more competent. And once you become more competent, you'll become more confident. And when you become more confident, you'll begin to be more successful in life. Simple as that. This has been another episode of the Peace Seekers Podcast, short and sweet. It's only about 25 minute time. I'm in Atlanta. That's why I'm talking like that. So I thank everybody for listening. I thank everybody for bearing with me. Thank everybody for being a supporter of this podcast. I don't make too many promises, but my goal is to become more consistent. Some of the episodes will be shorter like this one. And some of them will be longer, the ones that I want to delve a little bit deeper into the topic about. But I do have a life outside of this, and I only get home on the weekends, and there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of in such a short period of time. So I can't make any promises, but I intend to be better and more on point and more strategic with my time. Right. So again, as always, the self-deletion hotline will be down in the description. You'll probably see it in the video around this point as well. peaceseekersbrand.com. 10% of all purchases are donated to various mental health organizations to help people overcome depression, anxiety, and the various stigmas that come with mental health. Outside of that, man, just, keep seeking the peace. I don't really have too much more to say to y'all. Just keep seeking the peace. Every single day you need to get up and go out and find it. You got to make peace in your life, because it's not always going to come to you. Sometimes you have to make it. Sometimes you have to force it, right? And it all comes with mindset. Everything we talk about on this podcast is all about mindset. And I hope that everybody can connect the dots on the various different things. Connecting the dots on the emotional literacy, the 5 steps, connecting the dots on trauma responses and scarcity mindset and 3-question theory and all of these various different concepts that I try to put into words for y'all so y'all can understand, because I understand that as kids, especially in the Black community, mental health is something that's so frowned upon. Therapy is frowned upon. Really becoming the best version of yourself is frowned upon, and as a result, we pass down trauma, and trauma becomes a part of our culture. Everything you see that we applaud in the Black community today is a response of is a part of trauma responses, honestly. And we do it so much and on such a frequent basis that it becomes our culture, and we applaud it, we celebrate it, because we don't have shit else to celebrate. So hopefully this has been a good one, man. We're rounding up about 30 minutes now. So I'm gonna let y'all go on about y'all's day, go on about y'all's business, short and sweet. I like to keep it straight to the point. I hope everybody could understand everything that I was saying. I know sometimes I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I'll be going all over the place with things, but I think that you all will get the point, inshallah. With that being said, it's been your boy Khalid Abdul Salam, forever servant of the peace. Kaz for short. If you didn't know, check the Instagram. Honorable Khalid, peaceseekersbrand.com. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of you. Continue seeking the peace, y'all. I'm out. Peace. Hit the button. Hold on. Oh, wrong button. Thank you all for listening. Now get the out of here. Shout out to the roadcaster. Let's leave.